Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Global News reports that the U.S. streaming industry has strongly criticized the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission, CRTC, said new rules, which mandate that large TV streaming services allocate 15% of their Canadian revenues towards Canadian content. The Motion Picture Association, representing major U.S. streamers like Netflix and Prime Video, labeled these obligations as unprecedented, unnecessary, and discriminatory, arguing they would triple the cost of doing business in Canada and worsen the investment climate. They have urged the federal government to reconsider. In contrast, Canadian industry organizations, such as the Canadian Media Producers Association and ACTAE Toronto, largely supported the regulations. They assert that the rules align with Canada's long-standing broadcasting policy, aiming to ensure Canadian stories are reflected on screen and to generate new opportunities for domestic production. Canadian Heritage Minister Mark Miller stated he is reviewing the decision, emphasizing the importance of Canadian voices and unique national identity in content. Global News reports that the sale of counterfeit cigarettes is on the rise in Canada, despite an overall decrease in smoking rates, costing Canadians billions in lost tax revenue. Organized crime largely controls this illicit trade, attracted by the gigantic profit margins as contraband cartons sell for about $40 compared to $116 for legitimate ones. This substantial price gap primarily drives the market for illegal tobacco, diverting funds that would otherwise support public services like hospitals. A recent KPMG LLP study highlighted that $2.1 billion in tax revenue went unpaid in 2025 due to these tax-free alternatives. These illicit profits often fund other criminal enterprises, including drug trafficking. Police efforts, such as the recent interprovincial bust in Manitoba, involving over 1 million illicit cigarettes and significant drug seizures, are crucial. Authorities, like the Ontario Provincial Police's Contraband Tobacco Enforcement Team, work to combat cross-border trafficking, which is prevalent in countries with high-traffic land borders like Canada and the United States. Advocates are calling for legislative reform, pointing to Quebec's successful model since 2009, which focused on organized crime groups and imposing tax payments on those caught trading. Global News reports that the Limestone District School Board has initiated an external review of school safety policies and student supports. This action follows the death of a student at Bath Public School in March, an incident that also led to criminal charges against another youth, including criminal harassment and indignity to a dead body. Due to the Youth Criminal Justice Act, specific details surrounding the death and the identities of those involved remain undisclosed by police. The board stated that the review will identify areas for improvement in existing safe school policies and procedures, promising to keep families informed and provide opportunities for engagement. Rob Rye, a senior executive with Safer Schools Together, emphasized the importance of accessible and actionable policies, highlighting that warning signs in student behavior, attendance, or social media activity are often present. He also stressed a trauma-informed lens when addressing such tragedies, focusing on solutions rather than blame, and acknowledged social media as a significant challenge for schools today. Global News reports that Kingston City Councilors have passed a motion calling on both federal and provincial governments to conduct a feasibility assessment for establishing a National Marine Conservation Area, NMCA, in Lake Ontario. This initiative, spearheaded by Nature Canada, emphasizes the importance of protecting freshwater ecosystems, including migratory bird flyways and fish nurseries, and preserving cultural heritage. Parks Canada committed in 2021 to creating 10 new marine and 4 freshwater NMCAs by 2030, aiming to protect 30% of marine and coastal areas. However, Canada missed its interim target of 25% protection by 2025, with only 15.5% conserved by the end of 2024. The establishment of an NMCA would require a Memorandum of Understanding with the Ontario government, which is currently pending. Restrictions within NMCAs can vary by zone, affecting activities like fishing and extractive industries, but artificial reefs, bottom trawling, and oil and gas projects are universally prohibited. Nature Canada hopes other Lake Ontario communities will join Kingston in pushing for this assessment. City News Everywhere reports that public health officials are warning the public about a possible measles exposure in York Region. York Region Public Health stated that anyone who visited the emergency room at Mackenzie Health Hospital on Tuesday, May 19th, between 10:30 a.m. and 2:15 p.m., might have come into contact with a confirmed case of measles. Individuals potentially exposed are advised to immediately verify they have received 2 doses of the measles vaccine and to monitor themselves for symptoms until June 9th. Symptoms typically appear 7 to 21 days post-exposure and include high fever, cough, runny nose, red watery eyes, conjunctivitis, and a distinctive red rash that spreads from the head and neck downwards. Measles is a highly contagious viral infection, easily transmitted through airborne particles, and can survive in the air or on surfaces for up to 2 hours. Infants under 1 year, pregnant individuals, and those with compromised immune systems face an increased risk of severe complications, including encephalitis and death. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.